One thing that I've learned through cooking and through experimenting with different recipes is when you can learn how to change out and substitute your ingredients, you really have brought the power back or put the power back in your own hands. One thing that I really want to do with you guys today is to really show you and give you some different options for some different recipes that you can substitute ingredients out of or in for. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 different ingredient substitutes that you can use in your everyday lifestyle that will not change, harm, hurt, or kill your budget. Hi guys, my name is Adrienne if you guys are new here, and on this channel we talk about all kinds of things. Health and wellness and Jesus are my passions, so I hope that you stick around and want to subscribe. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the first one. The first ingredient that I wanna help you substitute out is maple syrup. And I wanna show you this is what real maple syrup looks like. Now I did opt in for the organic version, but they do have a non-organic version of maple syrup. But whenever you see recipes that call for maple syrup, this is what they're talking about. They're not talking about the Aunt Jemima or the Mrs. Mills or whatever they're calling it nowadays. This is actually what they're talking about. Maple syrup is actually comes from a pure maple leaf, and it doesn't have all the extra filler ingredients, the sugars and all the extra things. The one ingredient that you will see on here, if you look on the back of here, is pure maple syrup. That's how you know that it's the real thing. You want to decrease as much as you can, because the truth of the matter is, if you cannot recognize an ingredient on a list, then your body cannot recognize what to do with that ingredient either. So when maple syrup, Aunt Jemima's maple syrup, or any other brand of maple syrup, you are not sure, your body's not sure how to digest all of those different ingredients that we can't even pronounce. The companies know exactly what they're doing, but just do your best to get away from ingredients that are not pronounceable or things that you do not recognize on labels. And if they have more, and the more ingredients a product has, typically the more harmful it is. So the fact that this only has one ingredient in it lets you know that it's a better option for you than the Aunt Jemima brand or the store brand or anything else. So try to opt in for maple syrup. You can use this for obviously pancakes. I use this on my toast in the mornings. If I make like a banana toast, I'll do peanut butter, banana, drizzle it with some maple syrup, and then I'll, maybe even drizzle it with some chia seeds or something like that. You would think that this little bottle of 8.5 ounces would not last long, but you guys, when I tell you, my family of 3, we probably got through about 5 or 6 different uses of this per bottle or per jar. So it definitely goes a long way. A little bit does go a long way. You don't have to use nearly as much, so definitely consider using maple syrup. The next ingredient that I want to share with you guys is actually a substitute for tortilla chips. These Siete brand tortilla chips are actually making a come up. You may have started to see them a little bit more. You may have started to notice them on the shelves a little bit more. These are actually a grain-free chip, and grain-free basically is a better option for you for a lot of different reasons. Again, you go on the back of the ingredient label and you can read every last one of these ingredients. You can just tell what they are, and I'll pop a picture up on the screen here, but you can just read cassava flour, cassava blend flour, cassava starch, avocado oil, coconut oil, chia seeds. I mean, these are basic English words, not xylitol, this and whatever, all of the things that they be putting in the different ingredients in the foods. These are a better brand of chips for you because it doesn't have corn in it. Corn is in everything. You want to talk about a filler? Corn. You want to talk about a detriment to our body, a known carcinogen? Corn. You want to talk about what they feed in the animals? Corn. Corn is just such a broad, it's so cheap to buy, it's so cheap to use, it's so cheap to manipulate and change out and do it the different ways that they do it. And so that's why it's used in corn chips, corn starch. I mean, just a variety of everything has corn in it. So grain-free potato chips are better for you. I did get the lime version, but they have a plain version as well. And they also have a sweet version of chip as well. So if you're interested in a non-corn option or you're interested in a non-grain option, the Siete brand chips are definitely the way to go. The third option that I want to share with you guys is actually a substitute for cooking ingredients, if you will. And so this ingredient is actually arrowroot. Arrowroot is a substitute for cornstarch. If you're making gravies at home by scratch, or if you just want to maybe thicken up a recipe, maybe that's, you know, it turned out more soupy than it should have, and you're kind of like, normally you would go to cornstarch for something. This is definitely a high recommendation for cornstarch. This is a good starch substitute. You can use it in gravies, you can make thickeners out of it. It's very good, and it's low carb, low calorie, definitely a better option for you. It doesn't have all those extra fillers inside of it. The only ingredient in here, arrowroot starch. So I definitely recommend getting your hands on some arrowroot starch. A little bit does go a long way. It measures the exact same as cornstarch. If you're a baker, this is a great product because we know cornstarch, baking powder, things like that go in everything. So this is an amazing product for cornstarch. So get your hands on some arrowroot. So you should be able to find this in your local grocery store, wherever you shop. These last two ingredients are going to be drink substitutes, and I want to save the best for last. So this next one is actually going to be a substitute for Coca-Cola or sodas, and obviously it's going to be a sugar-free, calorie-free sparkling water, and it's blackberry lemonade, so it definitely tastes, you can taste the original flavors in it. It is an acquired taste, I will be honest with you, but one thing that you have to know and remember about America, this country that we live in, that we love so much, is that they over sensualize our palates. If you go to any other country, and I've lived in several, they do not season their food like we do here in America, because we over sensualize our palates to make our brains go into overdrive, to make us want, crave, think about, it's just these companies literally, America is where the dollars are made. We all know that. So yes, compared to Coca-Cola, this probably isn't gonna do much for you, but over time, this is gonna be a better option for you. This is 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugars. This is 0 fats. This is just, it's so much better for you if you can get used to the taste. Just give yourself time and opportunity, more than one go. Like I would say maybe go on like a 21-day journey or 21-day fast or 40-day fast or something of that sort, and just really tell yourself you're not drinking any more soda, but you need some carbonation. This is such a great option for you. Anything in the sparkling water category is gonna be so much better for you than soda or Sprite or anything, because those things are loaded with sugars and they are after your taste palate, your sensualization palate. So just be mindful whenever you go to the grocery store, even if you get the Sprites, get this just in case, and you can even doctor it up at home. You can add some stevia to it, you can add some lemon juice to it, you can add some other things to it to kind of make it like a little bit more flavorful for you if that's what you desire, but it's definitely a better option for you than Coke, Sprite, or any other soft drink. And the last one that I want to share with you guys today is orange juice. So I know this probably sounds like you can get orange juice anywhere, but let me tell you something. Now I do have an advantage a little bit probably over some of you because I do live in Texas, but if you can find 100% fruit juice, that's what this is. That's what the point of this juice is for. It's not necessarily for this brand of juice, but it's finding 100% fruit juice. Do not get the Minute Maids, do not get the Simplies. Those brands are loaded with sugars, with bad ingredients, with just everything that's going to sensualize that palate, that's going to sensitize that palate. It's going to cause your brain to go into overdrive. It's going to make you want more, crave more. It's gonna do nothing for you. You're gonna go through it quickly. If you haven't noticed in your household, maybe maybe you live with just you and your husband, or maybe you have 1 or 2 children and you're like, we can never keep drinks. We can never keep this stuff. It's because we crave this stuff so much. But whenever you take out the filler ingredients and you just drink 100% orange juice, I promise you, this is the best stuff on the shelves. You may or may not be able to find it at your local. We tried to find it at we have a neighborhood Walmart here. Tried to find it at our neighborhood Walmart, could not find it. Not this brand, but 100% juice. We couldn't find it at our neighborhood Walmart, but when I tried to go out to different like farmers markets, or when I try to go out to different places, I have to look locally to find it. So try to go to a grocer maybe that you aren't used to going to, or that you would typically not go to, and see if they have it there. But 100% juice is so much better for you. The ingredients should contain, it says contains 100% juice. Oranges is the ingredient in this juice. I could juice this at home. That's how pure it is, and they sell it on the shelves. If you see the juice and all the pulp and all the stuff down here at the bottom, that's actually a really good sign. That's what you want in your juice. We have a cranberry juice in the fridge. We have a watermelon juice in the fridge, and we bought them from our grocer. But if you see that pulp stuff sitting down here at the bottom, that's a good sign. Stuff should not have an extended shelf life. I'm just saying, if the longer the shelf life is, the more dangerous it is, okay? So I know we don't like to throw our food away, but the objective was never for us to be able to put crackers on the shelf and come back to them 2 weeks later. Try to put an avocado on the shelf and come back to it 2 weeks later. Try to put a potato on the shelf and come back to it a month from now. It was not the intended objective of the foods that we eat. And so one thing that I want to leave you guys with is this: if it was made by a plant, eat it. If it was made in a plant, don't. When I tell you, that has been so much power to me, literally in this season, and as I get back to my healthy girl era, that has really helped me so much, because I realize these companies are really going overtime to make their money, essentially, and they're using the psychology on you to do it. They're using your money, your finances, they're using placement in the stores. All of these things are strategic, and nothing is by accident or happenstance. And so I just want to educate you guys on what to look for when you go to the grocery store. And so these are just a few of the ingredients that I had in my own house that I wanted to share with you, as to some swaps that we have made, and some ways that we've been able to kind of improve our health without really breaking the budget or really doing a whole lot of effort. I want to let you know not to throw out your ingredients. If you have regular cornstarch, finish the cornstarch that you have and make the change or swap after. If you have the corn chips, finish the corn chips and then make the swap. If you have the Coca-Colas, finish the Coca-Colas and then make the swap, or buy them in addition to, maybe buy a 6-pack instead of a 12-pack. You're supposed to, the objective here is to start with small changes. Not big major overhauling or financially constraining commitments. The objective here is for us to make small, sustainable changes that can last us. That's the definition of sustaining. So we don't want to throw away, like I said, I would never recommend to you to throw away your old foods just because you found out that these new ones exist. But whenever you do finish that Aunt Jemima's maple syrup, don't buy it again. Buy the original or organic maple syrup. I mean, there's so much that contributes to this life that we live, but I promise you that if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So it is the most priceless investment that you can make, because you cannot buy more time at the end of the day. So if you want to live a long and prosperous life, you just want to do everything that you can do in your power to give yourself that option, or give yourself that opportunity, even though the companies are really truly working overtime. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that you are inspired by this. So tell me, which of the ingredients are you surprised by the most down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.